Varoitus. Alkushow sisältää vilkkuvaa valoa ja kuvaa.
Let's go, boys. Come on.
It's the two teams that have yet to play in the 2023 IIHF World Championship here in Tampere. It is Hungary and Denmark. There's your officiating crew for this game. Adam Blosky of Saskatoon, Sean McFarlane of Spokane, the referees. There's Kevin Constantine. Couple of stints in Everett, spent some time in the National Hockey League, now is in behind the bench for Hungary, taking over from Sean Simpson. And with his back to us, there's Heinz Ehlers, 5th World Championship for him. Got some good news that Nikolai Ehlers, his son, was cleared to play. It happened just before the insurance deadline. 5th World Championship for Heinz Ehlers. And Denmark getting set to take on Hungary. And for Hungary, advancing from last year's D1A championship with a record of 3-1. The only team they lost to was Slovenia, who also qualified and over in the other championship. We'll take a look at the starting netminders for this game. Plenty of fans here from both countries, so the atmosphere in this building should be very good. Interesting story with Denmark's starting netminder, Fredrik Dickau. This is his 3rd World Championship, but he has yet to play a game. We'll take a look for Hungary. It is Benza Balij, who is 2.12 in Poland this past season. And there's Dickau, played in the SHL for Frölunda. And as we mentioned, his 3rd World Championship, but he's yet to play in any of the games, so he'll make his World Championship debut this afternoon.
And Balij, 5-time Hungarian champion and goalie of the year twice.
So this one gets going, and here comes Nikolai Ehlers and rips one from just inside the line. So plenty of jump to Nikolai Ehlers' game, and he forces Balij to make a good save early.
Having Nikolai Ehlers in the lineup for Denmark is gigantic. He's a one-man exit out of the zone. He's a one-man entrance into the offensive zone. Attacks with speed, change of speed, shot, make plays, you name it, he's got it.
Play with a couple of former NHLers, Nick Jensen and Patrick Russell. That's the line combination out there now for Denmark. Ehlers chases to the far side, knocked away from him, and Lauritsen will chase back into his own zone. That is Marcus Lauritsen. Two brothers have been part of this Denmark organization for a long time. Oliver Lauritsen is the older of the two. There's a look at Mikkel Bodker.
As you were saying before we got on the air, I mean, this is really a game. I mean, Denmark can't lose this game. They absolutely have to have it. Hungary's a team that just clawing and scratching right from the very beginning. They're probably going to play nasty because they know how desperate they are, and it won't be easy playing these guys.
Denmark is one of those teams that every year you wonder, are they going to be in the battle with Finland and Sweden and the United States, maybe Germany? Germany has kind of gotten into that group now. Or are they going to be with the bottom teams battling for positioning when it comes to quarterfinals? And they were 4-3 last year, but they're always kind of in that situation.
And so that in any given year, they're 1 or 2 players away from going either way, right? If you get the big scorer in any given year, or you get a young kid that comes along and does the job for you, or you get a great goaltender, a great goaltending performance, that either tips you one way or makes you fall back the other.
And they've seen some changes. Sebastian Dahm, longtime netminder for them, as this goes off a stick up and out of play. Julian Jacobson, longtime centerman for them, is no longer with the national team, so they have gone through some changes as well. Face-off will be to the right of Balázs in the Hungarian zone. Hungary missing a few players from the D1A championship from last year. We'll touch on those as this game does progress. Nicholas Andersson for Denmark in on the forecheck. Pulls it back, gets some help there from the youngster, Oscar Molgaard, 18 years of age. And this will get sent all the way down the ice off the stick of Istvan Terbach. And face-off will come back into the Hungary end of the ice.
Yeah, and for Hungary, it'll be goal scoring will be an issue, no doubt. Safran is the guy, if you score 40 goals at any level, Safran played, it looks like, in both divisions, up and down in Hungary. But if you score 40 goals anywhere, I'm a believer that you've got some hands there. And it's a guy like him, maybe they're going to have to lean on to get some offense from.
Marcus Lauritsen sends it across. Matthias Lassen puts this in behind the net. Puck gets cleared. Russell couldn't get a stick on it. Comes back for Lauritsen, back for Lassen. Lassen to the front of the net. Oh, a little redirect there by Jensen, and that didn't miss by much. Puck got on end on him, just didn't get enough of him, and he couldn't cash in. This is cleared back and back up for Milan Horvat. Drops it back for Nagy. He gets stopped just outside the line by Jensen. Jensen will play it back into his own end. And Denmark now on the regroup. And the puck grabbed off with Jesper Jensen. Sends it on for Bow. Big Bow will dump this in, goes in after it. Bow gets some help there from Olsen. Olsen trying to slap it across the ice, but it gets picked off. Peter Vensa lost his footing there. Gets it out the center ice, and Olsen will dump it back in and going after it. Nagy first man back for it. 2 Nagys in the game. Gergo Nagy number 10 and Christian Nagy number 13. Balázs leaves it there. Hadabas, who is draft eligible, tried to clear. It got intercepted. This comes back at the line. And Lauritsen, Oliver Lauritsen, tried to drive that one through. It went off a stick, comes back, and a shot from the left side that went off a body. Morten Jensen didn't miss by much on that one. And Morten Jensen on the regroup now for Denmark with Matthias Lassen. He'll pitch it back. Lauritsen dumps it on for Bodker. Bodker trying to drive it to the front of the net for the veteran Fredrik Storm. That got turned away. 12th World Championship for Fredrik Storm. Balázs turns that aside and grabbed off by Istvan Sofron. To the blue line for Sofron. That's as far as he gets. Gets it back. Sends it ahead, and this will get deflected in by Bartalish. Bartalish will now pick it up on the back check. There's a shot from a sharp angle. Cleared around, a race forward to the far side. Andres Koch going after it for Denmark. Puck ends up in the corner. Oscar Molgaard trying to work it free, but grabbed off by Benza Zabo.
This game is back to the kind of regular structure that we see in these international tournaments. Boy, it's like line rushes at times. You dump the puck in, you have a partial line change, everybody's in the neutral zone, you got to find a way to break through.
Christoph Popp comes in with a shot, save made by Dickau. Quick release there by Popp. Russell trying to clear this out of his own zone, gets some help there from Ehlers initially. And now Jensen is on it. Nicholas Jensen played in Switzerland this past year, a Vancouver Canucks pick back in 2011. Back for Marcus Lauritsen. He'll leave it for Nikolai Ehlers. It was an injury-filled season for Ehlers. Got hurt early in the NHL season and then got injured in the last game of the regular schedule. Did manage to get into one playoff game. As a look at Nick Jensen.
Yeah, the whole Nikolai Ehlers thing is so interesting because of the deadlines and the insurance that he had to get because of the injury, and right down within, what, 15 minutes of being too late, and they get him in the lineup, and that's huge.
Players were lined up over to the left of Wallish, and the linesman says, nope, we're going to do it over on this side. Christian White out to take the face-off for Denmark against Jaros Harri. Harri had very good face-off numbers in the D1 championship, won 34 of 61 for 59%, which was fourth best in the World Championship for Harri.
A little pushing and shoving after the whistle. Both these teams trying to get an edge here. A lot of whistles, though, and a lot of structure in the game so far.
Without Janos Voss, who was their best face-off man in the D1 tournament last year, won 31 of 45, 68%, which was second best in the World Championship. Also minus Scott McCauley, who is a Winnipegger or a Manitoban, averaged just under 23 minutes of ice time per game for them in that tournament where they advanced. Spent some time with Northern Michigan, played pro in the ECHL, 7 seasons in Europe, and now back playing for the Winkler Royals. And he was a minute puncher for them last year on the back end.
Hungary's going to try and make some noise in this tournament, but from the sounds of things, their fans are the best singers so far.
Yes, they do love to entertain themselves and entertain everyone around them.
Yeah, we heard that on the way in. Yes. Boy, that's for sure. Yeah. Everywhere, outside the arena, inside the arena, the concourse, and they're going at it. Yeah. You can hear them all over the place. Ooh, that was nasty.
There's an elbow that goes uncalled. And back in. This will get rifled around the boards by Zabo. Puck does come loose. Spinning it back was Morten Paulson. He'll send it on for Oliver Lauritsen, and he'll slip it down the right side boards. Pajgoyi back into his own end for Hungary. Skips away from Horvat. Molgaard with a chance, trying to get that to the front of the net. That goes off a stick and gets deflected out of harm's way. Chasing it down is Mikkel Ågaard. Back to the blue line, and it skipped away from Lauritsen before he could settle it down to rifle it. And he can rifle it. Back in for Denmark. The lead pass too far for Oscar Molgaard. Molgaard on the steal, gets it out front. Ågaard trying to get a stick on it, could not. And now back for Turbach. We'll play this deep into the Denmark zone, and Denmark will control. Nagy in on the forecheck, gets a piece of Jesper Jensen. And Jesper Jensen, a veteran of these World Championships. This is number 12 for him.
Too many men on the ice.
Power play, we'll sort it out when we come back. Scoreless in the first. Too many men on the ice for Denmark, so a power play for Hungary.
Looks like Nicholas Jensen's going to serve it for Denmark.
In the D1 championship, Hungary's power play was 15.3%. So an area that they want to get better at. Slovenia, the other team that qualified, had a power play of 35.2 in that tournament. Slovenia went undefeated. So a power play for Hungary. Denmark's penalty kill, by the way, 30 last year, was 7th in the World Championship. In across center, back, no one there, and this will make its way all the way out at center ice, and Denmark back on the regroup. PK was 69.5%. Olsen in on the forecheck for Denmark, cleared away from him. And Balázs Szabok will send it back into his own end for Hungary. Cleared in behind, and Lauritsen will slam it around the boards. It does get trapped and held in by Vinca. For Seabrook. Seabrook trying to go cross ice. At the line, dropped back through some traffic. And Dickau's down, never did get to the net. And this will get cleared all the way down the ice by Weiss.
Really jammed up the front of the net. They're tough to get pucks through, but somehow you got to find a way to at least get it down closer into the paint there and not give them a clear instantaneously the way that happened.
Intercepted by Marcus Lauritsen. Trying to clear it into the slot. It goes on and off the stick of Gergo Nagy. And going for a spill on the far side was Oliver Lauritsen. Oliver Lauritsen 34, Marcus Lauritsen 32. One shot on that power play. Denmark back at full strength. Norway a power play goal over in Riga and a 1-0 lead on Kazakhstan. Back it comes to the line. Slap shot through some traffic. That was deflected in front as it was ripped from the line by Konrad Erdley. Denmark will change, and Marcus Lauritsen will just park in behind his own net.
Good penalty kill there. They didn't really show him anything, didn't give him any chance. It was difficult for Hungary to even get in the zone.
Jesper Jensen plays it through, goes after it, sharp angle try. Nicholas Anderson drives it towards the front of the net, backhand shot, and Balázs with a good save in tight. Adabash, who plays in Sweden, gets it out of his own end. And now Hungary will start a line change. Koch goes rink wide. Russell will track this down. Patrick Russell trying to work that out front. 59 NHL games played for him with the Edmonton Oilers. Shot from the line, kicked away. Right pad save made by Balázs. Jammed up in the corner. Lauritsen gets it free. Jensen gets it back at the line for Ehlers. Ehlers trying to dance his way deep. Gets tripped up on the play. And a penalty coming up as the stick of Gallo gets into the feet of Nikolai Ehlers. Extra attacker on the delayed call. Jensen for Russell, and he couldn't tap it in the near side.
Power break.
Power play for Denmark when we come back. Denmark will go to the power play, 8 for 33 last year, the World Championship, 24.2%. They had 33 power plays in 7 games, Denmark did, which was tops in the World Championship. And Hungary's penalty kill was good in the D1A tournament, killing 15 of 17, 88.2%. The face-off win to start it, kept in at the line by Lauritsen. To the side of the net, Balish is down, and the puck comes loose and grabbed off by Gorat. He'll snap it down the ice. Lauritsen will go back. On for Jensen. Balish will settle it down in behind the net, and he'll pick it up and clear it all the way down the ice himself.
We haven't seen anything of that really in the tournament. It's early yet. Goaltenders handling the puck. They just stayed put in the net. That was the first we've seen. Certainly a goaltender cleared all the way down the ice.
Ehlers will carry it in, drops it back for Patrick Russell. Russell for Lauritsen, on for Jensen, down for Ehlers. Russell heads to the front of the net. Jensen, Ehlers. Ehlers will play it back, looking for Frederick Storm. And the pass tipped there by Christoph Popp. And Lauritsen will go back and regroup. On for Bodker, off his stick. Bow follows up on the play, gets it for Bodker off his shin pads. Bodker gets double teamed. Does get a little bit of help from Olsen. Back for Bodker. They play give and go. Bodker will dump it up high, gets it back on the return pass from Jesper Jensen. Bodker's going high short side, and Balish down to one knee. Got that right shoulder up.
You're starting to see more and more of that all the time. Players taking that really bad angle shot. Guys are such good shooters now. If the goaltender's head isn't tight to the post, there's room.
Bodker for Bow, and a nice setup and a terrific stop on a backdoor bang-bang play with Nick Olsen. Power play is over. 2 shots on that man advantage for Denmark. Jumping on the loose puck is Oscar Molgaard, the youngest player in this tournament. There are a few 18-year-olds. He is the youngest. We'll touch on that in a second. Played to the near side. And first on the puck is Nicholas Anderson for Denmark. They pile up in front of the penalty boxes. Brought back in by Molgaard, puts on the brakes, gets to the forehand, tried to play it down low, it got blocked, and hustling across was Janos Hari to play it back in behind his own net, but now it's turned over, and Molgaard rips a wrister, and a good save made by Balish. Under 6 to go here in the opening period. So Oscar Molgaard is a 2005 birthday, 18 years of age. Leo Carlson, 18 in December. Reinbacher, who we saw earlier, an October 04 birthday. Lane Hudson's an 04 birthday in February. And Cutter Gochev, US, is a January 04 birthday. So some youngsters in this World Championship.
What a great experience for them, playing against men, for sure, experienced guys, and of course, the whole atmosphere of playing for your country, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, more and more young players all the time. It just shows you the skill level with which they're being taught at young ages in different countries, not just in the U.S. and in Canada, but really all over the world here. The coaching levels are so good at all the different skills, skating, puck handling, shooting, playmaking, all of it, and all the little aspects of it. Terrific.
Russell wins the face-off from Bartolish. Penalty coming up as Russell got dumped in front of the net, as Marcus Lauritsen's shot got deflected.
And he still got a piece of that one. That was a nasty redirection, but unfortunately for Russell, it went wide.
Istvan Bartolish will go to the penalty box. Hooking will be the official call in Denmark. Back to the man advantage.
Let's see how it develops here. He's go to the net, get it back to the point off the face-off, and still, yeah, he's being manhandled in front of the net, and he's still got a piece of that one.
Shots are 12-2 in favor of Denmark, and they're about to add to that here with the man advantage. Russell on the loose puck, sends it back for Nikolai Ehlers. For Lauritsen, on for Jensen. Jensen trying to lose the checking of Hari. Back for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers ripped one from the left side, never got it through, and then picked up and cleared down the ice by Erdley.
In day one, the penalty killing was remarkably stagnant in their own zone. They just stayed in the middle of the ice, the first couple of teams, and then today, everybody's been super aggressive. That's the interesting thing about tournaments, and it just shows you have to be able to play more than one way, and you have to be able to adapt if you're going to go all the way and win the gold medal at any kind of a tournament like this, especially the World Championship.
Jensen controls on that far side, sends it all the way back, looking for Ehlers. Ehlers lost his footing.
That was a badly timed pass, so Ehlers was going to loop up outside the zone and come downhill.
Frederick Storm trying to send that shot through. It's off a leg. Storm whips it around for Jensen. Jensen for Lauritsen, for Jensen, for Jensen, and back for Jensen. Through some traffic, Patrick Russell in front looking for a loose puck. Gets it back. Nick Jensen, cross ice. Ehlers scores. Nikolai Ehlers gives Denmark the 1-0 lead.
So often in power play situations, it's about keeping the play alive when you get your chance and when you get the rebounds, and that's what Denmark is able to do here. And then you have that one guy who will just hang out away from the play, and that's Ehlers, left side of your screen. Here's how they keep it alive, and then Hungary's doing what they have to do. They're overloaded on one side, but they can't get over to Nick Ehlers in time. Really nice setup by Nicholas Jensen. He held on to it just for a second or so, just to make all the defenders on Hungary think, he's going to shoot. Then he dished it off. The goaltender's committed, and all Ehlers had to do was hit the net.
So payday for Denmark, thanks to Nikolai Ehlers. Morten Paulsen sends that one in. Paulsen forced to the outside. Watched closely by Horvat. 1-0 Denmark. Nicholas Anderson into the corner. Anderson gets a little bit of help. Paulsen is in there as well. Mikkel Bodker standing back, watching the proceedings. Vilmos Gallos there for Hungary to keep an eye on Bodker. And a good defensive play. Nice long stick there from Ronald Kish. And he'll deflect this out. And now do we have... Looked like they were calling too many men on the ice, but no, it was offside.
Well, momentum is what it's all about within games and within tournaments, and now the pressure swings to Hungary. Can they handle this? They want to be able to stay even as long as possible, and it's only lasted into the first period here. They got to find a way to manufacture some offense, and it seems like Denmark is starting to roll now. So can Hungary respond here? Can they tighten things down and get a goal their way, which is basically playing a counter game so far from what we've seen?
On the backhand, Bartolish will pitch this in. And right back up the ice now. Weiss will send it on for Olsson. Olsson sends it to the short side. Weiss trying to jam it there. Balij down, makes the save, and the loose puck is grabbed off and taken to center ice and sent the rest of the way in by Chofron, and now a line change coming for Hungary. Loose puck out to center. No room on the play for Fejes for Hungary. And back up the ice now for Denmark. On for Nicholas Andersson. He'll play it back into his own end. Matthias Lassen goes rink wide. Lauritsen will send this in. Heads to the bench on the change. First on the puck is Olgaard, his 4th World Championship. Scramble in front. Molgaard, the youngster, finds it, gets a shot away, and a save made by Balij.
Denmark looks to be a volume shooter, and they certainly have 14 shots and counting already in this one. And the coverage by Hungary is going to have to get better in front of the net. They're going to have to man up and get better position and tie guys up, and even better box players out. Much better than they have so far, because I think you're starting to see Denmark saying, okay, these guys are going to just fish for pucks in front of the net. When you start doing that, the odds are that you're not going to fish in the right place at the right time. And the odds always seem to go in favor of the offensive team. So Hungary is going to have to clamp down in front of their goaltender.
Kevin Constantine talked before the game about the challenge to stay in this main group. Back at the line, Ehlers with the shot. That got blocked. They were promoted in 2008, relegated 2009. Promoted 2015, relegated in 2016. So it has been a challenge. Ehlers, Jensen, Russell. Jensen has it. Sends it back at the line. Wrist shot, and that went wide. Picked up and chipped off the boards and sent back into the Denmark zone. And Jesper Jensen paired on defense along with Anders Koch. Koch will take it. Sends it on for Fredrik Storm. 34 years of age. Still plays in the top German league, the DEL, in Ingolstadt. Storm does. Bodker holds this in. Bodker trying to play it back down low. Bodker in Arizona picked back in 08. Almost turned over at the side of the net. Sent on for Bodker. Bodker gets stopped at the line as Fejes pinches in from the blue line. Jammed up in the corner. Bodker will send it around the boards, and it will be picked up by Morten Paulsen, and he'll get it out. And almost a steal there as Morten Jensen had trouble with the puck. In fact, Hungary does come up with it. Played back to the blue line. Zabo trying to find a little bit of space in the Denmark zone. Does. And Zabo sends it to the front of the net. And a scoring chance for Erdley is going to get negated because of an interference call.
Yeah, and it is Erdley going to the penalty box. We finally got some zone time here, win a battle along the wall, and then there's a pick play. That's a flat-out pick play. You have to be a little more subtle than that if you're going to make it work.
We mentioned this in the previous game. The heaviest player in this tournament is Matthias Bau. At 258, he got picked there, and as a result, an interference penalty. And Denmark to the power play for the third time here in the dying seconds of period number 1. Marcus Lauritsen lost his footing there and went down, has the puck, but time will come to an end here in period number 1.
Pretty careful first period. Both teams started off with that structure in the neutral zone that we've seen so often. It looks like Denmark's starting to roll, and certainly with that goal that they've just scored, they're starting to
first game of this championship for both Hungary and Denmark. Bensa Balish, busy in that opening period, stopped 16 of 17 that he faced. And not so busy at the other end of the ice was Frederick Dickau. There's only 2 shots in that opening period for Hungary. Of the 17 shots that Denmark had, 7 of them of the 17 came from that top line of Patrick Russell, Nick Jensen, and Nikolai Ehlers, with Jensen leading the way with 3. Marcus Lauritsen led the way with ice time with 8:06, and Nicholas Jensen was also a perfect 5 for 5 in the faceoff department for Denmark. Marcus Lauritsen sends it across for Russell. Russell will drop it back. Just over a minute and a half left in the power play for Denmark. Third power play of the game, and the goal that Nikolai Ehlers scored did come with the man advantage. Long lead pass. Ehlers finds Russell. Russell puts on the brakes and lost his footing, and down he went. And this will get cleared all the way down the ice. Lauritsen. There's the drop. And here comes Ehlers. Ehlers sends it across for Jensen. Jensen slows it down, gets it for Lauritsen, back for Jensen, and back for Lauritsen, and across for Ehlers. Ehlers walks it in, finds Russell, who finds Storm in the high slot, and the shot went wide. What a setup. It was there. Here comes Ehlers again. He'll wire that one, and that goes off a body in front.
I really like this power play. They tried it in the first period. It didn't work very well, but you see Ehlers coming downhill. He loops up at the blue line and throws it down low, or he can shoot. But that quick bang, bang pass, it just missed the net. Otherwise, it's slam dunk. Look where the goaltender is. Oh, he did get a toe on it. My goodness. What a terrific save. That happened so quick, and it was from in so close. I thought it had just gone wide, but that's a absolutely terrific save there by Balish.
Balish was 2.12, 9.23 this season in Poland. 70 international games for Hungary on his resume. Jesper Jensen will play this down to the front of the net, and before it got to the stick of Morten Paulsen, it was cleared down the ice, and Jensen will go back for it. He'll feed that through the middle. Power play with 11 seconds. Backdoor play, and another big pad save as Balish got that left pad down to make a huge stop.
Bodker with a terrific play. He's made a couple of doozy passes already in this game.
Nick Olsson, I think, had that chance. Loose puck in front. That's off a stick. Power play is over. 4 shots on that power play for Denmark. Shot through some traffic, never got through. Rattle lost some shin pads there from Mikkel Ogard. And this will get bounced back into the Denmark zone. Oliver Lauritsen plays in Malmo, the SHL. Sometime in the Philadelphia Flyer organization in years gone by. He was a Philadelphia pick back in 2009 out of St. Cloud State. This will get dropped for Horvath. Milan Horvath drops it back into his own zone. A little bit of room now for Pop, and he gets tied up.
Yeah, Russell pulled him down. It's going to be a penalty to Russell, and looks like injury on the play too. Pap not feeling so good and very slow to get up. He got hooked pretty well and got pulled right off his feet.
So the second power play of the game is the 2 shots that Hungary has in this game. One came on that first power play. Here's the penalty there, and Pop goes sliding into the boards awkwardly. There's that save off the back door on the chance for Nick Olsson. Oliver Lauritsen, who plays big-time minutes. 8:06, or Marcus Lauritsen rather, 8:06 for him in that opening period. Christian Weiss will jam this up in the Hungary zone, try and kill off some time. Killing this penalty along with Frederick Storm. And now Weiss heads to the bench, and Morten Paulsen in his 11th World Championship will make his way on the ice. Norway leading Kazakhstan 3-1. Michael Haga with a couple of goals in that game for Norway. This comes back at the line, kept in. Steve Sheets plays it back, slap shot. As he wired that one from the left side, that was blocked. Lauritsen is after a loose puck, stuffs it around the boards, and Frederick Storm is there to send it the rest of the way into the Hungary zone. Hadobash goes back for Hungary, sends it on for Gallo. Gallo sends it behind the net. That's as far as that play gets, and a clearing attempt goes off the stick of Hadobash and up and out of play.
Not trying to get set up in the zone. It's been a big time issue. The pressure that they're under is just not letting them get in, get set up. You got to compliment the Denmark penalty killing here, doing a real nice job at the blue line. And it's what you do once you get inside the blue line. Getting there is not the big thing to me. It's once you get in there, where does that first pass go? And did you set up somebody well, or did you put him under pressure and make it easier for the defenders to get on top of you? And that's kind of what's happened so far on this power play for Hungary.
Hungary coached by Kevin Constantine. Sean Simpson was the coach last year in the D1A championship when they advanced along with Slovenia. Sean Simpson now coaching in Switzerland. So Kevin Constantine, a couple of Western Hockey League stints with Everett. A couple different stops in the National Hockey League. Won an IHL championship with Kansas City.
He's a hard-nosed guy. I mean, it's always been his reputation. Kevin Constantine, and it was to his detriment at times when his time in the NHL, players just kind of, okay, we've had enough of it. And hey, every coach has his thing, right? And every coach has his time with the team, and then it's time to move on. That's what coaching's all about, especially the higher up you go. But that's definitely Constantine's MO, that he is tough, no nonsense, and he puts pressure on you. It feels if you can't play under pressure, then you're not going to be any good to me.
He coached in Austria this past season. One shot on that power play to the front of the net. It comes, bodies all over the place, and Nicholas Jensen will send it out at center ice. Coach will carry it in, lets the wrister go, and a glove save by Balij, and he will hang on to it. There's Nikolai Ehlers in the lineup. It was debatable whether, or unsure, I guess is a better term, whether he was going to get cleared to play. It was an insurance issue. Dealt with some injuries this past season, so about 15 minutes before the deadline to get insurance for him to play in this game, it was all finalized, and he opens the scoring and has the only goal in this game.
Any kind of deal, Dennis, you know that as well as anybody. Any kind of deal, it always comes down to a deadline, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's negotiation, I guess.
Yep.
Patrick Russell. He'll leave it at the line. Krogsgaard will put this back down low, and this will get deflected out, and Krogsgaard for Denmark will chase it down and sends it on for Russell. Russell plays it rink wide. Oliver Lauritsen will play it back for Krogsgaard. He tried to feed it up for Nick Jensen, and this is an icing call against Denmark.
This game's pretty chopped up right now. I know Denmark would like to get some flow going here, and I'll give Hungary some credit. We've remarked since the very beginning that Constantine's going to have his team playing a game to do exactly this kind of thing. Chop the game up, try to make some mistakes, get him to make a big mistake, counter the other way, and find a way to win this game.
Aalborg Pirates, by the way, were the Danish League champions this past season. A number of the Denmark players play on that team. A number of them play in the Ice HL. In fact, a lot of the players, a lot of the European players in this tournament either play or have come through the Ice Hockey League.
Yeah.
7 teams in Austria, 1 in Hungary, 2 in Italy, and 1 in Slovenia in that league. Into the corner it goes. This is controlled. Hari circles up high, turns, fires through traffic. It gets in, and Dickow makes the save. And now we're going to have a penalty in front as Matthias Lassen gets involved.
Today's volunteer of the game is a person who has been here also last year, and she's back again this year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the biggest round of applause, Helena Vaillancourt. Thank you.
Hungary to the power play here with Lassen to the penalty box.
And another foolish penalty. You and I were talking off air about that. We've seen a lot of that in this tournament. Yeah, it's all well and good to play tough, but these guys, after the whistle in front of the net, are getting cross-checks at a guy's bottom lip. That kind of gets the referee's attention.
Well, no better example than the last game, the first game of the day. Hari sends this down to the goal line. Power play for Hungary. To the blue line, this will be held in. Steep Sheets will play it across for Hari. Heading to the front of the net is Chofron. Comes back to the blue line. Sebok gets it back for Steep Sheets. The shot from the far side by Hari doesn't get through. To the front of the net it comes, controlled by Vinsa. Back for Hari. Back up top. Steep Sheets back for Hari. Hari trying to come back door, looking for Sebok. That failed to materialize.
Lauritsen with a really good stick there, Oliver Lauritsen.
Sebok sends it down for Hari. The Hungary fans now trying to send some encouragement onto this power play unit. Steep Sheets. Sebok tried to come cross ice, and another good stick, that one by Weiss. And it does get jammed outside the line by Jesper Jensen. Back in for Sebok. He'll play it around the boards. Fayes tries to track it down, puts it back in deep. Clearing attempt by Lauritsen failed to work. As the two Lauritsens out there now on the penalty kill together. Cross ice, one-timer, and that got blocked as Fayes unloaded from the near side.
That might have gone off of Lauritsen again.
Hadobash plays it down low, jamming it in front. Dickow down, spinorama off a skate. Power play is over and up for Russell. Russell takes it to the outside, fires it. Quick release there from Patrick Russell. 2 shots on the power play for Hungary. And as much as Denmark has dominated this game, it's a 1-0 score. Back in, quick shot to the short side from Nicholas Anderson. And a good save by Balish.
You got to like the way Balish has played here. Go back to the chance at the other end for Hungary. Just put it in your pocket and dive into the paint and see what can happen. That's basically what it came down to at the end of that power play. Gallo trying to jump over the goal line, and that was pretty darn close, all right. Dickow with his legs stretched out there and made sure it wasn't going to leak its way inside that goal post.
Puck was not dropped fairly in the opinion of the officials. Here's a look at Kevin Constantine, the coach of this Hungary squad.
That power, for the most part, though, they just don't into dangerous areas. When they get it on the left side, they got a left-hander on that side, and he's not a threat. There's no speed and standing still an awful lot, and he's certainly not a one-timer threat. So if they're going to do that, it looks a lot different. We got a quick whistle. It looks like we're getting another penalty. High sticking call over in the corner.
It'll be a power play for Denmark as Zabo will go to the penalty box.
So you'll see a different look on the power play, especially if they come out with Ehlers, which I assume they will. Ehlers is a lefty on the left side, and we've shown that before. Take a look at the penalty there. And you can see Zabo doesn't like it a lot. Nope, I don't think that was a penalty. But if you're going to use a guy on his strong side and he's not going to be a threat for a one-timer, you got to have some movement there. Otherwise, that guy's pretty much useless, and he's easy to crack down upon and put him in a bad spot as far as making a play.
Around for Patrick Russell. He'll leave it for Nick Jensen. Lauritsen, Ehlers back for Jensen. Jensen walks it in, rifles it, looking high glove side, missed the net. Ehlers sends it all the way back around for Jensen. Jensen gets double teamed, plays it back for Lauritsen. Ehlers scores! Nikolai Ehlers gets his second power play goal of the game, and Denmark with a 2-0 lead.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You see the difference in how they work the left side here on the power play with Nikolai Ehlers. He loops all the way up to the blue line and comes downhill right there. He's got time and room. He's got some momentum. He's got a choice. The first time he did it, he made a cross-ice pass. That made everybody on the defenders of the penalty kill of Hungary aware that, we got to be aware of the seams. When you're trying to be aware of seams, it takes your attack level away. So that gives Ehlers a little more time and a little more freedom and a little bit better angle coming straight down the middle at the net. And this one, he just wired it and beat the goaltender cleanly. That's a good-looking power play, especially when you got Vodka on the other side, primed and ready for a big-time one-timer cannon.
Number 9 overall in the 2014 draft was Nikolai Ehlers to the Winnipeg Jets. Terrific junior career in Halifax. So a 2-0 lead for Denmark. Koch will play this up at center.
No wonder the insurance was so expensive for Ehlers.
Yeah. Back into the Denmark zone it goes, and Koch will chase it down. He was part of that all-board team that won the Danish championship, and an icing call now against Denmark.
Well, Balish has played well in goal. As a matter of fact, he played very well, but Nick Ehlers is certainly starting to find the range. It's been a tough season for him, as you outlined, Dennis, with all the injuries. There's his first goal, just waiting away from the pack, and then this one, looping up, coming downhill with some speed and picking his corner. You see how much time and room he had.
Cleared back in behind the net. A lot of the Hungary players play in the Erste Liga. I think that's a bank. You might know, you probably have some cash in it. Puck bouncing around.
Gone.
Gets sent up at center ice, and Jensen will carry it in. Jensen with the long floater, and Balish will make the save, and he will hang on to it.
Well, the 1-goal deficit for Hungary, that's one thing. Okay, we're still in it, guys. We're still in it. But they're not, they're not crazy. They know it's 2-0 now, big difference.
2-0 here for Denmark. There's been more scoring over in Riga. Canada a 6-0 victory, and then Switzerland a 6-0 victory. So they add up in a hurry. 22-11 is the differential between the goals scored so far in Riga and the goals scored here. We've had 5 players with 2 goals each so far in the early going. Dennis Mulligan of Switzerland, Sedlak of Czechia, Alex Tuck of Team USA had a couple in that big win over Finland. Michael Haga has a couple for Norway, and Nikolai Ehlers has a couple in this game. And speaking of Finland, that is the next game coming up in this venue, Nokia Arena here in Tampere.
They'll be in a bad mood.
Yep, Finland will take on Germany. Chance, this bounced off a leg and came to the near side post, and a good chance there for Schofron. Battle in front of the Hungary bench. Horvat put the puck deep and then got knocked down on the play. This gets flipped up but does not get out. And Matthias Lassen tried to clear. Finally picked up by Weiss. He'll get it to the line and not out. They say it did come out. Horvat brought it back in. And offside is called against Hungary.
Yeah, for Hungary, when it's 1-0 for a long time, they feel like, yeah, we got a good chance. We're still hanging in here. We're 1 shot away from tying it up, because the momentum certainly for quite some time now has shifted to Denmark. But now with a 2-goal deficit, if it gets to 3, now you'll see a difference in how the game is played, and you can just sort of feel it coming, because Denmark is playing and feeling better with every shift.
Hungary advancing in Slovenia last year along with Slovenia. They went 3-1, wins over Korea, Lithuania, and Romania. And the loss to Slovenia, but 2 teams were advancing. And 2 teams that will advance for next year, that has already been determined. It'll be Great Britain and Poland who will play in Czechia. Hungary down 2-0 into the Denmark zone, and a bouncing puck back to the blue line. Pazgoyi couldn't hold it in. He plays in that Erste Liga in Budapest. Cross ice pass and some room down the left side for Christian Nagy. Drives it to the net, and he'll take Dickau out of the play. There's a penalty coming up, and it is going to be goalie interference.
That was a pretty nasty collision. That was a tough one on Dickau. Came out and he had the challenge, and he got run into pretty good. Just a matter of is it body on body, man on man, trying to drive to the net. Which way are they calling this?
I think the referee is trying to get a number. Number 11, Sean McFarland from Spokane. There's Kevin Constantine. We mentioned a couple of stints for him in the Western Hockey League with Everett. There's the play.
Going to be driving in off the wing here. Boy, that's a tough call. It doesn't look like interference to me. Yeah. I think they were having trouble with the identification for sure. They thought it was Sebuk, and it's actually Christian Nagy who was driving to the net. To me, that just looked like a hockey play. He got inside position. I thought he was around the defender. The goaltender, I know, was out on the edge of the paint, but it doesn't look like he's like driving to the net. But they're nailing him anyway. Nagy's going to the penalty box. That takes away a lot of, the scoring drive impetus for forwards, right? I know it's a very fine line, and I'm all for the goaltenders being protected. That just looked like a hockey play to me.
10 power play shots for Denmark so far in this game, 2 for 4. Jensen will carry this in. He'll put on the brakes. Spins, trying to create some open ice, gets it back for Lauritsen, cross for Nikolai Ehlers. Storm to the front of the net. Ehlers gets it for Jensen, wires it. Save made by Balish. He'll smother it before Storm or Russell can get a stick on it.
That was a relatively easy save there for Balish, actually. Jensen got a decent shot away, but he wasn't hammering that at 95 miles an hour. And Balish has tracked the puck very well, but it's just a different look. And a lot of what works on power plays is you do have to change it up. There's sequencing that goes on in passing plays, getting the box to move. Also, you have to show threat from both sides of the ice or from up top, move it around a bit so that they're not shading to Ehlers all the time, even though he has both goals in this game. They got to try and take it away and use the other side of the ice a little bit.
Kept it at the line by Lauritsen. On for Ehlers. Ehlers to the front looking for the stick of Patrick Russell. And Russell was all tied up with Pozgoyi. Back in for Zabo. Benza Zabo for Hungary. Plays it around the boards. Bow first to the puck with that long reach. Gets it on for Olofsson. Olofsson will send this back on the far side boards. 45 seconds left in the power play. Bow with the shot. Save. Rebound. Chance off that backside for Mikkel Boedker, and he couldn't bury it as Balish got across.
Two huge saves. That shot from the point was a doozy too, and he made the blocker save and still had to push across and make that second save on the doorstep.
Jammed up in the corner. Boedker comes up with the loose puck. Plays it back at the line. Cross it comes for Bow, and he rips one from the top of the circle on the offside that went over top of the net. Gets it again. Tried to get that into the slot. He was looking for Olofsson. And it'll get cleared down the ice, and that should do it for the power play. Jesper Jensen will send that up the middle. Now into the final 5 here of period number 2. Anderson will put this back into his own zone. Matthias Lassen plays it up. It gets chipped in. Anderson goes in after it. Plays in the DEL for the Fishtown Penguins, where he had 11 goals. It's a good league, the DEL.
Yeah, there are more and more players being developed in Germany in general, and that league has really produced some doozies.
And we will see a number of them in our next game, as it is Germany against Finland. Canada, after the big win, back in action tomorrow. The first game over in Riga. So a 12:20 local time start. U.S. will be the first game in this building tomorrow. Here comes Ehlers to win the game, looking for 3, and a save made by Balish. U.S. with that impressive win over Finland. And tomorrow it'll be USA and this team from Hungary to start the day. Bouncing puck. Here comes Ehlers. Try to come cross ice for Jensen. Jensen got all tied up at the side of the net with Nagy. Kept it at the line. Matthias Lassen goes cross ice. Lauritsen will send it down low. Jensen is on it. Jensen slips this on for Morten Paulson. Back for Jensen. Boedker comes out now as they start the line change, and they'll complete it now with Jensen going to the box or to the player's bench. And Fredrik Storm makes his way out. Boedker drops it off at the line. Lauritsen will take it deep. Lauritsen forced to the backhand, does the circle, drops it off. Matthias Lassen will play it back to the near side boards. Boedker looking for a lane to the net. Just got forced enough to the outside by Nagy. Back for Lauritsen. Matthias Lassen takes a look. Tried to work it down low. He lost control of it. Gets it back. Plays it down to the corner. Boedker goes after the loose puck. Boedker to the backhand. He's going to try it one more time. Gets it to the front. Balish down, makes the save. And Mikkel Boedker put on about 3 kilometers. Face off to the left of Benza Bolish, who has been very good for Hungary, as this game has been dominated by Denmark off a stick, and the puck leaves the playing surface. We'll get a stoppage.
Yeah, the goaltender's still giving him a chance. I mean, Hungary's got to be thinking, yeah, we're getting overrun here, no doubt, but our goaltender gives us a chance. There's another just absolutely beautiful save by him. He's had to move side to side a ton. He comes out and challenges a lot. He's been extremely active, even out of the net, handling the puck and helping his D-man a couple of times as well, too, which we haven't seen much. Balic has been there for them, and Hungary only 2 goals down because of it.
Jesper Jensen plays it around the boards. It gets trapped there by Hadobash. And it's cleared up at center. Odd man rush now. Bow goes in. Didn't get a good clean shot away, and it went wide. Plays it back. In from the line is Anders Koch. Gets it back. Slap shot and a glove save as Morten Jensen let that one fly.
Well, we saw Mikhail Bodker going round and round before the last commercial break. And he did put on a lot of kilometers there. But, I mean, that's smart stuff, too. You're starting to really wear down this Hungary team. And Denmark well aware of that. The second period, of course, where you can catch guys out there a long ways from their bench. And all that stuff adds up into scoring chances.
Bodker with plenty of NHL experience. 709 NHL games under his belt. Nikolai Ehlers, 523 NHL games. Sends this down low. Matthias Lassen, the defenseman, joins the offensive attack. Hungarian fans and the Hungary bench felt there should have been a penalty there. Ehlers has it. Ehlers will play it back at the line. Lauritsen unloads. Balic makes the save. And another face-off in the Hungary zone.
Virtually every time Nick Ehlers comes out, something good happens. I mean, he comes over on the near side boards and then makes a diagonal pass all the way to the point. And they end up walking down and getting a really good bid on net. So, yeah, Ehlers has earned his way onto this team here very quickly in short order. I wondered what kind of shape he'd be in and how much skating he's done. And joining the team late, that's a tough thing to do, but boy, there's no rust on him tonight, that's for sure.
Denmark trying to get to the quarterfinals. Something they would like to do on a more regular basis. Shot, traffic in front of the net, trying to find that loose puck was Niklas Jensen. Turned over, here comes Jensen, fired right on, rebound, puck is loose. And now Jensen gets dumped and play goes on. Ehlers on the backtrack there to take it away, sends it back in for Jensen. To the outside on Szabo. Puts on the brakes. Jensen felt there was traffic coming from the near side from Hadobash. Now he loses control of it, and it is flipped up at center, and Bodker will send it right back from where it came. Frederick Storm goes after it. Hadobash ties him up, and it's deflected out to center ice, and we have a pileup in behind the play. Play gets whistled down, and there is a penalty coming. We'll try and figure out who is getting it. I believe it is doubles.
Yeah, with some tackling going on in that neutral zone. Lauritsen's going for sure. We'll see if he's going alone or not. Coming out of the zone, everybody fighting for body position on a loose puck. There's an initial trip.
So a hold and a rough is what the call is. So we'll get some 4-on-4 here to end the second period. And that's the way we will start period number 3. Last year, Finland gold, Canada silver, Czechia bronze, USA, Swiss, Sweden, Germany, Slovakia, the other teams to make it to the quarterfinals. Koch will send this down into the Hungarian zone, and that will end period number 2.
Well, this game has gone more and more in favor of Denmark as the game has gone on. And 5-on-5, they haven't been able to pull the trigger with any success. But boy, on the power.
Minutes in the books, 20 minutes to go. Hungary trying to get back in this game. We'll have some 4-on-4 to start period number 3. There's Nick Jensen centering that top line. Quiche for Hungary. Jensen with 6 shots on goal so far in this game. Nikolai Ehlers, son of Heinz Ehlers, 6 shots on goal in this game. Nicholas Jensen has won 8 of 11 faceoffs. Ice time, Patrick Russell had 8 minutes and 14 seconds in that period. There's a look at the netminders, Frederick Dikau. A little bit more action in the second period, plus he got run over. Here's Nikolai Ehlers, who has both goals in this game. Patrick Russell, 15.5 minutes of ice time through 2 periods, and Marcus Lauritsen 15:25 on defense for Denmark as the third period gets going with the 4-on-4. Lauritsen takes the return pass. A little more room out there now for Russell and Ehlers, and here comes Ehlers. Cuts to the middle of the ice. Ehlers drops it back for Russell. Russell walks in, lets the shot go, and Balish at the top of the paint makes the save.
Russell's the benefactor of Nikolai Ehlers attacking with speed. This is what I was talking about before the game even started when we first mentioned Nikolai Ehlers. It's an easy exit out of the zone there, but he can do that 5-on-5. But he comes with such speed and such flow to his game, he just pushes the D off the blue line. So if you have the patience and you know how to time things, and you come in behind him like Russell did, you're going to get some really good looks at the net.
Certainly does drive defensemen back with that speed. A blast from the blue line, that didn't miss by much. From Jensen, back it comes. Big blocker save as Jensen unloads on another one. And Bodker getting set to cut that, tee it up, and offside is called.
Look at this one-timer. Look at the goaltender. Look where he is. And he's down, and he still is able to. That is so hard to do. He's pushing off that right leg, and the shot comes back to that right leg side. It would have been easier for him to make a left pad save than a right pad save. But he's able to shift his weight and kick that leg out and make it there. That is some brilliant stuff. He has been really good. It's 2-0. He's allowed 2. Hasn't had any chance. It could be 5 easily.
Jesper Abo Jensen with the blast. Now offside called against Hungary. We have 50 seconds left in the 4-on-4.
We'll have to see if as this game goes on and it stays 2-0, whether we're going to see Hungary, get out of their structure and have some guys, just start to go and see if they can create something a little bit more on their own. Difficult. They haven't had the puck a whole lot, so even some of their top players don't have a great feel for the game, right? Because as this game has gone on, certainly it's been Denmark, and Denmark's been fed by their power play.
Both goals by Ehlers have come on the man advantage. Horvat will put this in behind the Denmark net. And here comes Russell. Plays it on for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers through the middle of the ice. Didn't like what he saw and takes it all the way back into his own zone. Dishes it off for Lauritsen. Lauritsen has Ehlers. Ehlers is in behind everyone for the hat trick. And the save made by Balij.
That timing was absolutely perfect. Lauritsen looked up the middle of the ice, but he knew exactly where he was going to pass it all the time. He waited until the left defenseman for Hungary moved over into the middle of the ice, and then he was dead in the water. There is no chance there that you're going to catch Nikolai Ehlers when he got the pass in full speed like that. That was Zanya, actually, the forward, who was staked out on that blue line on that side. But the timing of that pass was absolutely perfect. Everything but in the net on that play.
Ehlers thought he had opened up Balij enough to slip that through the pillows, but Balij got back in position and made another good save. He has been very, very good. And certainly the main reason that this is still a 2-goal game here in period number 3. Lauritsen with some acrobatics there to knock that puck down. On for Frederick Storm. 4-on-4 is over. Grabbed off by Nagy. Sends it back into his own zone. And Hungary wanted to get a change in. Now the change will get complete as Garat will leave it there and make his way to the bench. Here's the drop pass from Steep Sheets. Chipped off the boards inside the zone, and Jensen content to just send it right back out again. Bodker trying to find some room and can't, as he got stopped at the blue line by Fejes. Fejes, the long pass up the middle. And now Hungary in on the attack to the line. No further, just no room for Sebuk to work his way into the Denmark end.
Well, I'm sure the message was in between periods, and talk on the bench right now for Denmark is don't get sloppy. You know, keep playing the same way. Have good habits, because this is about a tournament situation. You want to win this game first of all. You start trying to open things up, and it starts to creep into your game, and that's certainly not good. And their power play has been the feeder for them, and it's almost time for Hungary to try and look for ways to maybe start opening things up a little bit here anyway, and see if they can turn the momentum around a little.
Vilmos Gallo with that last opportunity that got deflected up and out to the blue line, but not out. That does not clear the zone. Dikau with a save on the short side from the quick release from Bartolish. Centered out the short side by Bartolish. Not sure whether Dikau had to get a piece of that or not.
Yeah, Ergley had his stick broken on that one. It was a pass out the short side of the net. That definitely had a chance, but I think the fact that his stick broke, it changed the angle of the explosion of the puck off the blade, and he ended up missing the net. It was a good thought and a good play, but just didn't hit home.
Sent around the boards. The referee now starting to make his way over to maybe get that broken stick. Nope, they're just going to leave it there. Slipped in behind the net. Molgaard goes in after it.
It's amazing how many times a stick laying on the ice makes a good play. Sometimes better than the guy who had it in his hands.
Back to the line it comes. Koch will send it back in behind the net. Molgaard will clear. SHL in Jan Koping for 18-year-old Molgaard. He'll leave it there for Nicholas Anderson. Anderson tried to feed it out front, and that was picked off and cleared by Turbach. And Denmark back to regroup. Bounced off the boards out the center ice. Garat back on the right side, and this will get sent in. Nagy trying to work it free, gets wrapped up in behind the net, and a puck battle ensues with 5 gone here in period number 3. Dennis Bayak, Brian Engblom, our producer Bucky Buchanan with you here in Tampere. Lindsay Hamilton, part of our crew as well. Some room for Russell, centers. Jensen trying to get a stick on that, could not. And grabbed off at center ice, and this will get flipped down the ice by Garrott. But he was on his own side of center, and that'll be an icing call.
Just rolling the lines here for Denmark and making sure everybody is warm and everybody is like in tournament mode. I think that would be the next thing for the coaching staff and Heinz Ehlers. Some of the guys maybe who haven't had some of the much ice time, put them out there. You got a 2-goal lead. Make sure they're doing the right things as well too, leading into your next game and the rest of the tournament.
It's a good top line for Denmark. You got Nikolai Ehlers, who of course plays for the Winnipeg Jets in the National Hockey League. Patrick Russell, the former Edmonton Oiler, plays in the SHL in Linköping. And you got Nicholas Jensen, the former Vancouver Canuck in the National Hockey League, a draft pick by the Canucks. Also spent some time with the Rangers. And he now plays in the NL League in Switzerland.
Yeah, they've had some really good flow. It didn't seem to take any time at all. Again, with Ehlers literally showing up last night and just throwing it out on the ice here, right here, boy, that's a good sign. It's got to make Heinz Ehlers feel pretty good. Like, okay, the chemistry is starting to click in right off the bat. It doesn't always happen that way.
Morton Paulson will dish it off. Shot by Mikkel Bodker, turned aside. Frederick Storm goes after it. Back for Bodker, got away from him. And Hadobash will try and clear. He'll just drop it back into his own zone, and it will get dumped out the center by Sofron. Following up, backdoor play, scores! Istvan Safron started the play, takes the pass from Zabo. And just like that, it is a 1-goal game as Hungary is on the board.
This is exactly what they were hoping for. This is the guy we were talking about. 40 goals he has scored in a combination. That's for the entire year. He's kind of been up and down from the first to the second division. But anytime you can score 40 goals in a season anywhere, I don't care where you're playing, Safron knows where to go. This was well executed. Terrific play and puck possession on the attack. That's what made it go. But Safron getting to the scoring area, stopping and being ready. Zabo with the great puck control and that pass right across the crease. And once it hits the stick of Safron, there's no stopping that one. So again, they're right back in it. Momentum switch.
Score by number 20, Istvan Safron. Assist.
Second assist will go to Bartolish.
And 28, Istvan.
And it's a 2-1 score.
42.
And right now, the star of this game, certainly for Hungary, is the netminder Bence Balish, who has been terrific and makes another big stop there. As Denmark has by far been the better team. Ogard trying to get his stick on a loose puck. And back up the ice. Terbach in the slot trying to find that puck, could not. And picked off and chipped off the boards by Ogard. Player changes for both teams here.
Sometimes we overlook what a goal like that will do for the goaltender too. As good as Balish has been, now he's got some belief and now he's got renewed energy too. And with that chance that Denmark came right back with there, he made another big save to keep it a 2-1. So that enthusiasm level for your goaltender when he's worked hard for you, that's important.
Well, you go back to the breakaway that Nikolai Ehlers had a few moments ago. Russell's shot, that found the outside of the post. Jensen. Ehlers looking for the hat trick, the big save.
Right.
There's a backhander by Russell in tight. And now we've got Jensen involved with Kish.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to play Echo. Next to me is more from Hungary. And Sarah, who is there?
Here I have Noah from Denmark.
Yeah, with this
2-1 the score. When you're in that group that realistically you know that your chances of making the quarterfinals aren't good, but you're trying to avoid relegation to make sure that you're back in the big tournament, a goaltender can be such a difference, and we're seeing that from Benza Balish in this one. You go back to Ben Bounds with Great Britain, and he was again part of their success this year to come back to this main group next year. But you go back a couple of years, he's been so good for Great Britain, and now Bali's trying to do the same thing here for Hungary.
It's one game all the time. It's not a best-of-7 series. It's such a different mentality. If your goaltender has a bad night, you're done, right? And when you have to appreciate them, the big guys who come up and consistently do it for you. And Balish, certainly in this game, moving forward, will make this team play differently. You can afford to take some chances when you're down on the scoreboard. That's a huge advantage when you know your goalie is going to make those saves for you.
And you touched on this yesterday, not necessarily picking up a win, but picking up, there's a chance off that backside, picking up something out of a game like this, and another chance for Hungary. Certainly a little more jump to their game since they got themselves on the scoreboard. Off the sideboards. It is Hari trying to drive that to the net.
And that one almost went in too. That was a redirection. I think he got a piece of that. Might have made a save on that one, but they're coming.
Back in on the attack to the outside for Hadobash. Still has it, puts on the brakes, drops it back. Gets the return pass up in the high slot. The shot goes wide from Erdley. Erdley has it again. Erdley will send it on to the near side board. Zabo. Into the slot it goes. Zabo gets it back. Chofron plays it for the point man Erdley. Erdley will send it on. This ends up back in behind the net. And now Hungary trying to get the change in while they have Denmark pinned in their own end of the ice. Back at the line it comes for Horvat. Walks in, the shot that never got through, as that got blocked by Jensen. Finally, Ehlers will get this out of the zone and out to neutral ice, but that's as far as it gets. And now right back into the Denmark zone. Weiss is on it, he'll play it on, and Olsson will chip it off the boards, and that will allow Denmark to complete the change.
That was a good shift by Hungary, but the problem was with whoever had the puck was moving, but the other four guys for Hungary were not moving very much, so they were being checked and covered pretty well, so nothing really came of it. They got to have more than one guy, just a puck carrier, moving in that offensive zone to give some options to the puck carrier.
Christoph Pop sends it across the Turbox.
And if you're going to get shots to the net, the team that's moving is more likely to get the rebounds and the second chances.
Turbox trying to get that to the net, deflected to the near side. Gets chopped away. Chance now in the slot as Pop worked it into the scoring position. Didn't get enough on the shot. Now has it again. Again tried the toe drag, and it had it poked off his stick at the last second.
Too slow to pull the trigger.
A couple of chances there for Pop. And this will get sent down the ice, and it will be cleared, so no icing on the play. The last couple of shifts.
We remarked on that earlier in the game. Opportunities that guys have for a second, holding on too long, looking for a different situation or a second opportunity, and then decide to shoot, and you get it. A great scoring chance just goes away.
Nagy gets dumped by Botker as he tried to muscle his way in, and now perhaps an odd man rush shot, scores! Morten Poulsen. A huge goal for Denmark.
Boy, that's a dagger. That's a dagger against Hungary because they were really coming. This is an excellent shot by Poulsen. Perhaps a tired unit out there for Hungary, and they get caught up the ice. Poulsen comes in. It's kind of an outnumbered attack, but he's able to back the D-man back, way back into the zone, and that made all the difference in that play. Fayush had to back way beyond the top of the circle. And when you can do that, and you can be coming in with that kind of speed and that kind of momentum, make a shot that good, not much the goaltender can do on that one.
His 10th World Championship goal in this his 68th World Championship game. Matthias Larsson and Fredrik Storm will pick up the assists on that goal. Odd man rush that developed in the neutral zone. And Morten Poulsen just rips that to the far side. And a 3-1 lead now for Denmark. Hungary right back in. Dickau down, and the puck cleared out of harm's way by Poulsen, who will now make his way to the bench. Back in now. Quiche. It gets turned over at the line. And Ågaard will send this across. Quick shot there by Anderson, and that got turned away. And we will get a stoppage of play. 3-1 Denmark.
Referee dance. Time out. Slash. Spear. High sticky. Go.
Okay. That's my referee. Okay. Looks great.
One more game to go after this one here in Tampere. The host team, Finland, coming off that loss to Team USA yesterday. And they will take on Germany. Germany coming off a loss last night to Sweden. And Latvia in the late game over in Riga, the host country there as well, playing Slovakia. Chance that changes directions, and that gets deflected up and out of play, and a stoppage of play and a face-off in the Denmark end of the ice.
There's a good look at how close it was to Hungary coming right back and getting a couple of scoring chances. One right across the top of the mouth of the crease, and then the puck gets turned over, and boom, the gap is back to 2 goals instead of being a tie game.
11th World Championship for Morten Poulsen. 3-3 over in Riga now between Norway and Kazakhstan. Side of the net, Dickau's down, and Hungary jamming away at it.
Somebody got it right in the head again. We've seen a lot of this.
Is that Quiche that paid the price?
Yes, I believe it is Quiche. Drive the net, good idea. It's desperation time. He's whacking away, and you know what? It wasn't really a big-time dirty hit. That was Larsson coming in, and he popped him out of there for sure. Hit him sort of in the neck, side of the head area, it looked like, so definitely shook him up. But it was body on body, and I don't think it was like a hunting thing where you picked the head. This is a scramble and a guy who's poking away at the puck. And no, they are going to throw him in the box. All right. I was wrong.
So Larsson to the penalty box. It'll be a power play for Hungary, and the officials are discussing it. I'm with you. I'm surprised that
it was a battle for the puck. And there we go.
So they're going to review it.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't know what they had on their head, but because the guy goes down and he's grabbing his head, that gets everybody's attention, and understandably so. Take another look here. You're whacking away, So he comes in and makes contact with shoulder to shoulder, but as his body swings around, he's going to make contact with the head too. See his hip actually hits the head. I mean, what are you supposed to do about that? That's not an intentional blow to the head, not to me anyway. That's just a good clear out as far as I'm concerned, but that's why they're looking at it.
He gets sandwiched right there. Lauritsen pushes him into Matthias Lassen. Yeah. I don't think they're looking to see whether the puck ever crossed the goal line. I think they are reviewing the penalty.
Well, good point by you. I just assumed they were looking at the penalty, but
Quiche was hammering away at that pad. Yeah, there is no evidence.
They didn't say why they were reviewing it. But as far as the hit goes, you'll see that one doesn't show the hit very well, but it shows the puck staying out. Maybe that's what they are looking at. They didn't make a distinctive announcement as to what they were reviewing.
So Heinz Ehlers looks on as Adam Blosky of Saskatoon and Sean McFarlane of Spokane will review this one, figure out what the call is, and see whether or not it's a 2-minute penalty, a 5-minute penalty, or no penalty at all.
Well, Hungary made Denmark uncomfortable, for sure.
Yes.
When they scored that goal and they started to come, and it had been a while because they'd been getting overrun for a while. Here we go.
Denmark, number 15, minor penalty for charging.
All right, so they call him for charging, coming in from too long a distance in order to clear him out. But all you want to do is get in there as expediently as possible. The guy's poking the puck, trying to score a goal underneath your goaltender. At any rate, all right, I'll take the charging, but big penalty kill here, of course.
Saw the reaction from Heinz Ehlers. So back to the power play for the 4th time in this game for Hungary. Venca Stipšić spent the 16-17 season with Cedar Rapids of the USHL. Plays in Färöar this past year. This is cleared up at center, and Stipšić will circle back into his own zone.
We'll see if they have any more movement in the offensive zone once they get in there and get set up. It wasn't very good last time out, or the last couple of times.
Sabuk will send it to the near side boards. Sent all the way around by Peter Venca. Ends up back at the line. Stipšić plays it back for Venca and then gets it back. Comes near side, one-timer, and not much on that shot from Sabuk as he kind of healed it.
Yeah.
And Denmark will clear.
Yeah, those are the ones you can't miss. He took his eye off it just for a second. It's not an easy thing to make those one-timers, but you got to take advantage of it. That should have been a 70-mile-an-hour one, or at least.
Back in, back to the blue line it comes. This will be kept in by Gallo. He'll leave it there. Eardley sends it back to the line. This gets kept in. Theus sends it across. Theus will then get it back. Sends it in deep. Back up top it comes. Theus to the short side. There was some traffic there, and that was deflected wide. Gallo trying to work it back to the blue line, does. Handled there by Hadobash. Plays it back down low. Theus will leave it. And then Lauritsen is on it. And Matthias Lassen is out of the penalty box. 2 shots on that power play for Hungary. Lauritsen will stuff this down the boards. And Theus will circle back. Dumps this up the middle. It goes off a skate. And a chance, almost a chance, and a great backtrack there by Denmark to prevent the shot there from Eardley. Back in, short side drive for Olsson, and then a pile-up in behind the net. And then a big hit in the corner by Bow.
He doesn't make any other kind.
When you're 258 pounds, I guess every hit's a big hit. Turned over inside the line. Turbach gets to center ice, no further. And Nicholas Jensen will bounce this one in. And Denmark in on the forecheck now with Nikolai Ehlers. And drop back for Sebuk. Chips it in, goes after it. Lauritsen there first. Lauritsen gets it for Patrick Russell. Russell will stuff it down the ice. And Habedash will go back for Hungary with now 3 left to go here in the third period. Fejes, and that pass went off the heel of his stick. Frederick Storm will carry it in. Storm sends it in for Morten Paulson. Back for Mikkel Botker. Botker stripped of the puck and back up the ice for Gallo. Gallo gets stopped at the line as the long reach of Oliver Lauritsen breaks that play up. And Jesper Jensen uses the net to protect the puck and starts straight up the ice for Denmark. Gets it on for Olsson. He'll send it the rest of the way. Balish will play it around the boards. Bounces up at center, right back in for Olsson. He'll wire it. That deflects off the defenseman wide. Bow goes in after it. Bow getting pressured in the corner there by Benza Steepsheets. Back to the line. This slips away from Matthias Lassen and comes out to center ice, and now 2 left to go here in the third period. Olsson, with his team changing, will just take it deep into the Hungary zone. Nick Jensen tried to pull that out of the pile towards the front of the net, and it's cleared away by Hari. Hari will send it up at center for Sebuk. Sebuk gives way, and it's played around the boards by Jesper Jensen. Bounces at the line, gets sent back in by Steepsheets. Lauritsen tried to clear, could not. Lauritsen now staying on Hari. And snapped around the boards by Sofron, who has the goal for Hungary. 6 attackers, net is empty for Hungary. Some good body contact there in the corner. Jesper Jensen comes up with the puck, tried to clear it. Russell tried to stuff it out, could not. Comes free at the side of the net, and Hari wasn't sure where it was. Now Lauritsen trying to jam it up in behind the net, can't. It's knocked loose. On it is Sebuk, gets it back at the line. Steepsheets plays it for Sofron, shot through traffic, rebound. Couple of big saves by Dikow trying to find the puck. Huge pile up in the paint, and finally Jensen comes up with it, and he'll snap it out of his own end of the ice. Safron up the middle. This is cleared away, and Nikolai Ehlers with 2 goals in the game gets it ahead for Nick Jensen. Nagy is there. Nagy will play it on, and Fejes will try and get it deep, but it's blocked on the far side boards. And Denmark will win its opening game. Pressure here in the third period, but a game dominated very much by Denmark. A couple of power play goals by Nikolai Ehlers got it going, and Denmark wins by a score of 3-1. So this one is over. We are going to send you to Riga